So the rumor going around is, by the way, welcome to the cold open to our Smackdown review.
That's right. Cold open for sure. Just keep it going. Let's go.
So we were just talking before Andrew hit the record button that the newest rumor coming out late like last week, Roman's not booked for Australia Elimination Chamber. So the rumor being floated around is possibly a triple threat match between The Rock, Cody, and Roman for the main event of WrestleMania.
Well, here's the thing about that. If you're going to do that, there's your way of protecting Roman.
You have Cody pin Rock.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you can get the rematch with Roman chasing.
And you can, then that also saves you the chance too to do Rock Roman at say SummerSlam if you want to do that.
Yeah, I can
do have that. You have that opportunity to, because then you take the title off of Roman without really damaging him as long as Rock takes the pin. Well, Rock would be the one that takes the pin.
So hold on, like you wouldn't be damaging anything for Roman when he loses the title because he's held it for so long. He hasn't been pinned in a singles match. Now, let me emphasize that in a singles match.
Yeah, last time he was pinned was it SummerSlam this year?
December of 2019.
Yeah, that was the last time.
Was the last time, and it. Quick trivia question: do you know who was the one that pinned him?
Wasn't it Orton?
No. One more guess.
Kevin Owens?
No, it was Baron Corbin.
Oh, Baron Corbin.
During that dog food.
Oh, yeah, that was. Yeah, you know what? Thanks for reminding me about that. That was terrible.
During that dog food angle.
Yeah. That was horrible.
But yes, Reigns was pinned in a tag team match at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
He was pinned by Jay.
Yeah. That was the last time he got pinned.
But in a singles match, one-on-one, he has not been pinned since 2019.
Yeah. Well, something's going to change. It's either going to, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to do the triple threat match just based on the fact that if you want to get a second match, in a singles match between Rock and Roman.
I think Rock is. I think that Rock has to be at this WrestleMania.
I don't see Rock not saying no to being pinned by Cody, especially if it makes sense.
Rock knows no matter how this plays out.
Yeah.
He's going out on his back.
Yeah.
Because he has one, maybe two matches in him.
Well, if he does this one, I think he does SummerSlam, and that's it.
I think if it's a triple threat, I think you see a rematch at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think I think that's the most logical.
If it's just
a good way to sell.
If it's just straight up Roman Rock, that'll be it for Rock.
Fair enough. We'll find out what goes on there. But let's here on the SmackDown. Let's move on to the SmackDown review here.
Well, do you want to touch on the Fightful report first?
We're going to start on the Fightful report. Let's start out with the Fightful report then, folks, because you know what? Like, let's talk about the whole thing with Seth Rollins really quickly. Then,
yeah. So
Seth is, from what I was reading, Seth Rollins is a torn MCL or partially torn MCL, and they're saying he should be.
The MCL's fully torn.
Okay.
But he has a partially torn meniscus. That's what Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful was reporting Friday.
Okay, because what I was reading too is that he should be okay for Mania. But if he's okay for Mania, that means you're not gonna see him on TV for the next 2 months. Well, you'll see him on TV.
Well, so this is a similar injury to what he sustained in the lead up to WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
Against Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Where they debuted Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And then when he went to lock in the Kukita clutch, Rollins' leg kind of stayed underneath him.
Yeah.
And it folded in half.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone back to watch the Jinder match to see where exactly he got hurt.
Yeah, apparently have it in the Jinder match somewhere along the lines there, yeah.
So, but he didn't have the partially torn meniscus in 2017.
No.
I
I've heard a few things going around about this, to be honest with you.
so right now all they're saying, all WWE is saying is that Rollins is going to kick off Monday Night Raw to address his future.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've heard, I just heard that from you, but I've heard though too that they may take the title off of Rollins, vacate it,
and make the Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight Championship.
which would probably almost make it, well, maybe not, because they did, I mean, that wouldn't be bad because they did it with Flair years ago.
But they also did it with Roman.
With Roman too.
In 16.
Yeah, that was one where Triple H won.
Yeah.
But also too, I could see maybe do a tournament or something along those lines where Drew wins, then Drew has the match with CM Punk. I've seen
Rollins
that too.
Can't go
if
for
Rollins
Mania.
can't go for Mania. Now there's a chance he might be able to go for Mania. It all depends on a lot of things.
Now, this opens up an interesting scenario that just popped in my head.
Mm-hmm.
The common thread lately that everyone's talking about is what to do with Cody at WrestleMania if The Rock's in the picture. If Rollins is out, you could do Cody Punk for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, but in Cody's mind, that's not fixed the story.
And still have Rock and Roman. No, and that's fair.
Yeah.
Cody can finish his story whenever the fuck they get around to it.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I understand that in terms of there's no bigger place than Mania. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a milestone Mania coming up with WrestleMania 40.
Yep.
But I think circumstances what they are right now, especially if Rollins can't go for Mania.
Yeah.
That's not a bad contingency plan.
No. I think it's not gonna be bad. They're gonna figure it out too. It's like Papa H is there. He's gonna figure it out.
As it is, Rhodes and Punk are gonna have a face-to-face Monday night.
Yeah, so that could very well set up that too, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, especially now with if there is going to be a vacated title or what's going to happen with Rollins. It could very well, to be honest, through a human standpoint, I understand Rollins' point of view on a lot of things, and I get that. But Rollins has been running that fucking leg and that body probably for the past 2-3 years straight. Not really that much time off. He hasn't had much time off.
I'm trying to think the last time that he was actually out hurt.
Yeah. Either way.
And honestly, it might have been that leg injury in 2017.
Yeah. So he probably running that engine for a while. His body probably needs the time away and time off. And
you know who Seth Rollins reminds me of? Seth Rollins reminds me of Nigel McGuinness.
Mm.
So Nigel McGuinness went on this 2-year title run in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But like as he got towards the end, like you could see more and more athletic tape just holding his fucking neck together.
Yeah.
Because his neck was so bad at the time.
Yeah.
And then he finally dropped the title. He went, got it fixed, and then ended up in TNA.
Yeah.
Got hurt again and retired.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, before we get to Mania, we got to talk about the Royal Rumble, which is next Saturday.
Yeah, we still got to talk about Smackdown.
To do that, it starts with the contract signing that kicked off Smackdown this week.
Yeah, which was really interesting. It started off really with Roman coming through and basically shitting on Jay a little bit, on Jimmy Uso a little bit, and then Solo going, "I'll handle this. The Royal handles." So he goes and handles. You have introductions of AJ Styles. You have the introductions of LA Knight and Randy Orton. They start talking back and forth there. Paul Heyman comes out instead of Roman Reigns. And basically threatens to say Roman is not going to be able to do this thing because it's just yada, 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 unfair. It's this hip scup hot crap. To which Nick Aldis' reply was, well then, if that's the case at the Royal Rumble, this will be a triple threat match for the vacated Universal title. which did not go
stormed
over.
Heyman right back.
Yeah, it
Right.
did not go over very well at all. And you get, I like this whole where Nick Aldis is going. He's really being
Best
that general
authority,
manager. Yeah,
best authority figure we've seen on TV in years, and it's such a
yeah,
like a breath of fresh air.
it really is. Like he's
I
doing
mean,
a
like,
really good job.
to be fair, I like the job that Adam Pearce was doing, just playing the street man. He's not a heel, he's not a baby
Yeah.
face, he's not playing to the crowd.
Well,
He's
I don't think Aldis is really playing anything either. He's just playing a
no,
general manager. He's not going to take any crap from whoever the star is.
but also keep in mind that Nick Aldis is a lot bigger than Adam Pearce.
I'm sure Aldis could still go.
I'm sure Adam Pearce could if he had to.
Yeah. Uh, midway through that, though, Styles and Knight get into a bit of a mouth thing back and forth, and they start getting into a brawl. Orton, therefore, threatens after that, goes up to Paul Heyman while it's going on, just threatens him saying, I'm going to reintroduce the three most dangerous letters into the world Universal Champion. That'd be the RKO.
He
And
threatened RKO
Roman.
Reigns by the end of the show.
And well, we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So first match of the card was the LWO and Legado versus the newer Legado El Fantasma. And always remember, folks, if you're enjoying the new Legado El Fantasma and you're enjoying this podcast as well and the video podcast on YouTube here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all your friends and tell all your friends and share to us, man. Let us know how we're doing. It's doing great. Anyway, match goes off the hook. Legado wins. It's just a match. To me, it wasn't anything really significant. It's good for Legado. It starts to establish them better as a heel group and as a good team. The LWO is probably done. To be honest with you, with Carly, it's just done.
With Ray hurt,
Yeah,
they got like so. Here's what I've learned over the years in terms of WWE.
Yeah.
Anything with the letters WO attached to it isn't going to last.
No, it's just
They brought back the NWO. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if everyone remembers this, but back in 2002, they bring back the NWO, Hall, Nash, Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They make it to WrestleMania. Just let me finish. Okay. They make it to WrestleMania. Hall gets fired because he violated some sort of clause in his contract about drinking.
Yep.
Hogan gets a very unexpected reaction in Toronto. They immediately turn him babyface.
Yeah, that's the kind of turning point there.
So Nash recruits Big Show and X-Pac and Booker T and eventually Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Who then kicks Booker out of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a succession of about a month, Big Show gets hurt. X-Pac gets hurt. Kevin Nash blows both his quads. And then
there's just no luck involved.
And then you transition 20 years later to this LWO reboot, which, by the way, I've said from the beginning, the LWO was so fucking insignificant in WCW.
Yeah, it wasn't anything huge to begin with in WCW.
It was just a bunch of luchadors.
It was a parody.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the luchador parody of the NWO.
Yeah.
But I'll give them credit for trying to treat it with a little bit of significance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, Ray gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn Santos heel. I mean, what do you got left? You got what? Cruz and who's Joaquin?
Yeah.
With Selena. And then Carlito, who's just kind of floating about. I mean, maybe you just keep the LWO name, have Selena manage, provided Andrade doesn't come back. Remember, that's still on the table there.
Yeah, I'm expecting him to show up sometime soon.
He could be back in the Rumble.
Yeah, I that's probably what they're going to do. Right? Re-debut him, most likely. I mean, Charlotte is out, so he might be taking some time with Charlotte for a little bit now. I don't think she's had that surgery yet.
So last week, I did read that Andrade's AEW contract is done.
Yep.
He has signed a new deal with WWE.
Yep.
And his return is imminent.
So my guess is probably the Rumble, or this
or the night after,
this Friday on SmackDown.
No, I wouldn't.
It'll probably be the Rumble.
On a go home.
It'll probably be on the Rumble.
I would not do it on the go home. That just doesn't make logical sense booking wise. You want to maximize the return. Do it in the Rumble. If not, do it Monday on Raw. Because you don't necessarily have to link Andrade back with Selena Vega.
No, you always wait till
she helped. She helped his presentation, but
you can move it back on till SmackDown on the Friday sure. after, so it doesn't really matter. Second match of the night, the Pretty Deadly versus Tyler Bate, and the return of the name of Pete fucking Dunne.
With the music and everything is back.
With the name, everything, the look, which wasn't really much of a difference when he was as Butch, but yeah, the look, everything, the back, really good.
Amazing. And Dunne make a hell of a tag team.
That's gonna be a good tag team, and they won the match too when he won the match with the bitter end, and it was nice seeing that bitter end.
Still one of the coolest moves in
wrestling.
It
really is. I remember when I first saw it at the UK Championship. They did in the UK, and I was like, "The fuck was that?"
Pump handle into a flatliner.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that?
And it's so smooth how he does it on just about everybody.
Yeah, like it's very straightforward, very easily done, and it's not even anything difficult. It's really cool. After that was over, we head out with Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens coming down the thing to start the Kevin Owens show with Logan Paul.
With Logan Paul.
They go back and forth. Basically, Logan Paul saying Kevin Owens has a weapon as a hand for his hand. Kevin's like, "It'll be fine. Don't worry. I'll take it off. It'll be fine." And then Logan Paul hits Kevin Owens, and Kevin gets back up and gets pissed off and starts beating the living hell out of Logan Paul. But Logan Paul does get the last laugh by slamming Kevin Owens' hand into the post. So I mean,
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's gonna be a good match. I think at the Rumble, it's gonna be a really good match. I think that might be. I mean, Rumble's gonna steal the show no matter what.
Do you know what's announced for the Rumble right now? You have the two Rumble matches. You have Paul and Owens.
You have the Fatal 4-Way. I think that's it right now. There was not much mentioned for Gunther yet. Yeah,
because I think Gunther's gonna go in the Rumble. I think that's why.
Yeah, I think they're going to tease. There's talk they're going to tease him versus Brock.
Oh.
So.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's going to probably happen.
Yes, please.
That's probably going to happen. Next match. The Unholy Union. Alba Fire and what the hell is her name?
Isla Dawn.
Yeah. And Rich Katana and Chance.
And Caden Carter.
Yeah. Chance Carter won. It looks like it was kind of a squash match. It was more or less just a push to Kabuki Warriors against them next week on SmackDown for the tag team titles.
Okay.
So it wasn't really much of that. A little disappointed though. I kind of like this unholy union between like these two pairs. I really hope they push them more significantly in the future. I do like the whole way it looks, but I think that right now they're going to try and push the whole Bailey and the whole damage control split from Bailey probably coming up as the Rumble on Saturday.
As it looks right now, do you think Bailey wins the Royal Rumble?
I'm gonna let my pick known on
next
Friday because I'm gonna think about it for a little bit. Because right now I'm kind of lean towards that, but I will lean towards a couple of other people that might be in the Rumble that might actually win the Rumble though too.
To me, it's a toss up between Becky and Bailey.
I think it might be a three-way though too. You might have Becky, Bailey, and maybe a debuting Jade Cargill. So who knows? I know she hasn't debuted yet.
Jade's still.
But I'm expecting her to probably debut
at the Rumble.
Yeah, I'm expecting her to debut at the Rumble. So we'll see about that. After that, we had a quick chaos. Guys, that was trolls on commentary. They kind of pushed that more. After that, Styles versus LA Knight was a good match going forward. Lots of it really entertaining. Solo Sikoa interfered, basically laid them both out with the spike, which then led to the main event of SmackDown being Orton versus Solo Sikoa. And this is where it gets really interesting because the match is going quite well. Orton's basically, you know, attacking Solo. Solo's dominating him back and forth. Commotion starts coming out between LA Knight and Styles. They're still fighting back and forth, coming out to the ringside. Eventually, Orton hits the RKO on Solo to win. But
Orton hasn't lost since he got back.
no, but
Here comes Roman.
after he beats Solo with the RKO, gets the pin. LA Knight comes in the ring along with AJ Styles, and Orton RKOs both of them, which is typical. And then here comes Roman out of nowhere with a Superman punch, makes them all groggy as Roman Reigns likes to go in the back there into the post, does his little hoo-wah kind of shit, and then runs right to an RKO.
Right out of SummerSlam 2014.
Yep.
Okay. And the first time I saw that counter to the spear, I loved it.
Yeah. And
okay.
Best of business again, I think, anywhere.
I don't think Roman gets enough credit for how good he sells shit.
Yeah, he sold that quite well. He was like,
Roman's selling is next level.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm guessing Orton stood tall to end the show.
At the end of the show, Orton stood tall, basically smacking this thing, put the signed the rest of the well, Roman signed the contract really before anything else happened, right? To make sure it was all said and done. And that's when kind of after he got the RKO, Orton lays it in front of him, just shows him. So how it's gonna happen, man. It's really hard not to like. We all know Rollins is probably gonna win that.
You know
match.
what makes me upset though? WWE Booking 101. If the babyface comes out on top on the go home show, I know this wasn't the go home show for the Rumble, but I don't think Roman's on SmackDown next week.
Oh, we'll find out.
I don't know. I don't think he's advertised for SmackDown next week. But yeah, when the babyface stands tall,
typical WWE booking there. Babyface stands tall, it's probably there.
Then typically they lose.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't. It all depends.
It's very rare.
It's rare, yeah, but sometimes it has happened before though. It's not the first time. But I don't think Roman depends on what goes on with. Like I said, we've laid down scenarios before, right? And this is a good scenario right now for. It's a good scenario for The Rock to come in to rock bottom Roman Reigns, have Orton win, and then you do the Orton versus Cody. Or it's also a good time you just have Roman win, and then you move towards Roman versus whatever you want to do, the triple that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So,
see what goes on. Any closing thoughts, my friend?
We are literally a week away from Royal Rumble.
Well, actually, we're 6 days away because, full disclosure, we've both had a busy weekend, and we're recording this. We're recording this Sunday night.
Yeah.
So we're 6 days away.
Yeah, 6 days away from the Rumble. It's going to be very exciting. The Royal Rumble is going to be very entertaining. It's probably my favorite event all year because it is literally the prelude to WrestleMania season, and it's just the most fun because you never know who's really going to win.
Oh yeah, the Rumble's always my favorite event. Yeah, just for the unpredictability.
Yep.
Most of the time.
I mean, we have to be honest, we have clear thoughts with that. We're saying we said CM Punk, we've said Cody.
This is the first.
For all we know, it could be anybody than those two. It could be Gunther.
But I will say
probably not.
I will say this is why this year in particular is exciting because this is the first time in many years that I can think of where, at least on the men's side, there are multiple, and there's probably a good handful of guys you can make cases for to win the Royal Rumble.
Also for the Rumble too, don't forget. that Beast Incarnate's luring, they might have him show up with Brock. I mean, I don't think Brock's gonna win. Just saying, Brock's gonna show
I
up.
swear to God, if he comes in and wins,
Brock's not gonna win.
I
There's
may,
no way they're gonna do Brock versus
if Brock
Roman
wins,
again.
I may quit this podcast.
That's not gonna happen. You know it.
I know, but
Brock's. I don't think Brock's gonna win. I think they're gonna push it. Maybe they're gonna set Brock versus Gunther. But we will be doing a Royal Rumble preview sometime this week, folks.
at the end of next week's SmackDown review, we will go over everything for the Royal Rumble.
Yep, we doing two. A lot of editing that day. It's gonna be horrid. But fun.
But until then, thank you for listening. We love each and every one of you. We just passed 450 downloads. We've only been doing this since the end of September. And, thanks for coming along the ride with us.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
It has been. And I think we're only getting better. So I don't think we're getting worse, are we?
Not by the numbers.
Fair enough.
It's getting better slowly. It's just we're keep grinding this out no matter what we do. We're gonna keep on going and going and bring you the best entertainment, the best things we can do, right? And they said, don't be afraid to put comments below. If you think we suck, let us know. If you think we're good, let us know. If you think we're pretty, you might be drinking too much. But anyway, Doug, take us out.
I mean, to be fair, I have a drink that goes to your head sometimes. You can find the show everywhere except Apple. I may eventually get that solved sometime soon. You can follow. First of all, go check us out on YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast. Andrew, he's getting better with his editing every single time. So we're he's doing his Harry Potter thing now, but
it's coming. The Harry Potter stuff's coming.
But you can follow the show DA Sports Pod on Instagram, DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. He is A%1982 on Instagram, Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I am DLions1991 on X, and we'll catch you down the road.
Expectum Patronum.